This is how you build your future. This is how you build that legacy in the world of TYRO we're talking about for you, your family, and for generations to come. If you don't stop and listen and learn and grow, you're not going to go anywhere. Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we just want to take a brief moment to introduce you to Google.
We are going to do a special edition TYRO TV because we believe so strongly in the skills and tools that are available to you to learn and grow with Google that we decided to dedicate an entire show to this subject.
Now, it's about professional branding, right? Your own personal and professional brand, because your brand in today's market is everything. Your reputation is everything.
This is going to help you to position your career and your story and able to do advancement. It's going to help you really understand the importance of branding yourself. You are your greatest asset. But many times people don't know how to take advantage of your story, of your skills, of your talents, and really promote those things in order to get ahead.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about building your professional brand using Google. All these trainings that Google is offering on their platform about building your professional brand, building your personal brand are for free. But they're only great if you take advantage of them.
And the best part is that once you complete this training, which is called Build Your Professional Brand, you will have access to an entire library of additional trainings that are all free. You can get trainings on building your own business. You can get trainings on how to set up, on how to code, all kinds of trainings that are going to help you build your family's legacy and a foundation for you to be successful.
So take advantage of this great opportunity that is in front of you. This is how you build your future. This is how you build that legacy in the world of TYRO we're talking about for you, your family, and for generations to come. If you don't stop and listen and learn and grow, you're not going to go anywhere. Here it is, a library of so much content, so much information that will help you get to the next level.
So the first place you're going to start is you're going to continue watching as we play and give you access to the very first Grow with Google training called Build Your Professional Brand.
Now it's time to take that first step into your Grow with Google training. So now let us begin building that new legacy.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this workshop. I am Dave Delaney. I've been a Grow with Google speaker for about 5 years, and I'm excited to deliver this talk for you today, all about building your professional brand. So in this workshop, we're going to spend some time exploring the concept of professional branding and how it can help you build your career. Now, you're going to learn how your personal brand and career story can be used to help you quickly let potential employers and clients and collaborators know who you are and what you can bring to the table. Then we're going to talk about simple steps that you can take to start building your brand. A few of the exercises in this workshop involve some writing, so you may want to have a notebook and a pen, or you can always use a digital document like a Google Doc. Now, let's get started. So today we're going to talk about what professional branding can mean for your career and how it's never too early or too late to start building your own brand. We'll start by covering what a professional brand is and how companies use their brands to build trust with customers and with clients. Then we're going to talk about how building your personal professional brand can help you grow your career no matter what type of work that you do. And after that, we're going to go over 3 steps that you can take to build your professional brand: defining your brand, building your online presence, and growing your network. In the next 45 minutes, you'll take the first steps towards defining your own personal brand and learning how you can help keep building your brand online and in person. So let's get started. Think about a company you like. Maybe it's a restaurant. I'm thinking of one now. I'm feeling a little hungry, so maybe it's a clothing brand, or maybe it's a particular product that you enjoy. So when you think about this company, what images come to mind? What feelings do you associate with that company? Who is their customer, the ideal customer? Who's the ideal client or the target audience? Who are they selling their products or services to? What sets their product or service apart from competitors with similar offerings? What does their advertising make you feel about using their product or service? And how do they maintain consistency in their advertising? Are you able to look at one of their ads or social media posts and know it's from that company? Well, all these impressions and the experiences you have interacting with or hearing about a company, even just looking at the logo, they're all part of a company's brand. Now, companies hire marketing professionals to help them build their brands. And in fact, a company's logo, advertising language, and even the color and the fonts that they're using in their advertising, they're all considered part of its branding. But a brand isn't just built by deliberate choices. It's also built over time as a result of the experience that people have when they interact with your products and services, or even when they hear about the company and the organization from other people. You're a person, not a company. I get it. So what's branding got to do with your career? Well, just as companies have brands and they communicate their qualities and their offerings, you can build a brand to market yourself as you grow your career. Your professional brand is made up of the unique combination of career story along with your qualities, skills, and experiences. It's a way of letting potential employers, educational institutions, maybe colleagues and clients, and even mentors get a sense of who you are and what you have to offer. Now, a few slides back, you thought about a specific company, and I asked several questions about how you perceive their brand. You can also ask similar questions about your own personal brand. For example, what images and feelings do you want people to associate with you and your work? What qualities do you want potential people and employers and clients and collaborators to know about you and that you possess? Who's your ideal client? Who's your ideal employer or your customer? What sets you apart from people in the same industry or on similar career paths? And how can you maintain brand consistency in your own marketing? Whether that's your website, maybe your social media posts, or in-person interactions. While you won't necessarily have paid advertisements or shopping bags with your logo on them, you will have a resume and social media accounts, which should also reflect your professional brand. So as you meet people in your field and you build your network, strong professional brands will help you leave a lasting impression. Strong branding is helpful for everyone in the job market too. But it's even more crucial if you want to start your own business or maybe launch a freelance career. A great brand can help freelancers and self-employed people and small business owners attract customers and gain opportunities. So now that you're getting a sense of what professional branding can mean for you as an individual, try applying the same questions to a person in the public eye. So think of a public figure you admire. They could be a performer, maybe an activist or a political figure, or anyone in the public eye. Now take a few moments to think about their personal brand. So what images and feelings do you associate with them? What qualities do they possess? Who do you think is their ideal customer or client or target audience? What sets them apart from being people in the same industry or from those same people in the industry or on a similar career path? And how do they maintain their brand consistency in their marketing and their projects or their appearances? The answers to all these questions reflect the person's brand. So just like your favorite company has integrated their brand into everything they do, their advertising, social media, in-person experiences, even their font and their logo, you should do the same with your professional brand. And from your resume to social media posts to your networking conversations, every interaction you have is an opportunity to let people know what you have to offer. So that's what your brand is all about. It explains your background, your skills, passions, and interests, and what sets you apart from others on the job market and lets people know why they should want to work with you. So in this section, we're going to go over 3 major steps you can take to build your brand starting today: defining your brand, building your online presence, and growing your network. So in this first step, define your brand, I'm going to lead you through some exercises that will help you get a better understanding of your professional brand as you create a brand statement. So in the second step and third steps, you'll learn about actions that you can start to take immediately after the webinar today to start building your brand. And for this step, you're going to need a pen and a paper, or you can take notes in Google Docs. So the first step toward communicating your brand is to figure out your brand statement. Your brand statement will be 1 or 2 sentences which quickly let someone get to know you and your work. It tells them your career or educational history, and it lets them know where your career is heading. So you will use your brand statement to communicate key information about you to potential employers and clients and collaborators. You may include it on your resume, in your professional networking emails, or during in-person conversations. So in a few moments, you're going to write out your brand statement to make that simpler. And we'll start by focusing on your career story. So a significant part of your brand statement will be telling your career story. Your career story helps people understand who you are, where you're coming from, and what you have to offer. Like all good stories, it's important to start at the beginning. So have you ever noticed that in movies about a superhero or a supervillain, the audience almost always learns the hero's origin story so they can understand why they behave the way they do? Your career story serves a similar purpose. Your life or your work experiences have made you the person you are and contribute to the way you approach your career. And you can start your career story by talking about the experience that made you get into your career. So for instance, if you are a parent of a special needs child and you went into teaching as a result of that experience, you'll probably have a very specific point or view about your work in the classroom. Or if you're a college student who has been deeply involved in environmental activism, you'll definitely be bringing that unique perspective to a job in city planning. Your career story may also include time away from work. Lots of people have experienced longer breaks in employment. Some have taken time off to raise children, care for a family member, or for any number of personal reasons. Others had a long break in employment because of a layoff or during an economic downturn. Don't let a break in employment keep you from applying for the jobs that you want. They are part of your career story too. Just be prepared to discuss your breaks in employment with the recruiter or the hiring manager. If you spent your time away from work, volunteering, or taking classes, or gaining other valuable skills, be ready to share that information in an interview. Okay, so now that we've talked about your past, let's talk about your future. Sharing your professional goal will help people know where you're headed and may help them decide that they want to work with you. The parent who's gone into teaching, who I mentioned in the last slide, may have a goal of helping other educators meet the needs of all their students. So keep in mind that your professional goal is likely to change over time. People often make decisions to make career changes, and often their goals change along with those. And that's okay. On the next slide, you're going to write your goal as you understand them today. So I'm going to give you a minute here to combine your origin story and your professional goal. But remember, you can come back and write more later. Now, even if you don't have a lot of experience in your field yet, for example, if you're a new graduate or maybe you're changing careers, you can still talk about what is motivating you to seek this new career and what your ultimate goal is once you launch your career. So here are a few questions to help you get started. What events led you to become interested in this type of work? Who influenced you along the way? If you could accomplish anything in your career, what would that be? What is one big problem, an important problem, or an issue that you would like to improve or address in your lifetime? What is the first big step you'd like to take toward your dream career? Now, to complete your brand statement, you're going to need a few more details that describe the way you do things. Your first step will be to make a list of things you want a potential employer or a school or coworkers to know about you. These can be qualities you possess, like being honest or hardworking, or they can be specific skills you have or activities you're involved in, like community organizing, volunteer work, activism, or athletics. If you get stuck, think about words other people use to describe you. Do they enjoy your sense of humor? Envy your organizational skills? Do they seek you out when they need to talk through a tough issue? When you've made your list, circle or highlight the top 3 qualities or skills or talents that you'd like to share with a potential employer or a collaborator. If possible, choose the ones that most influence the way you approach your career. Now, these qualities, skills, and talents combined with your career story can combine to form the basis of your professional brand. So I'll give you just 1 minute to quickly list all the skills and qualities you can think of, and then circle your top 3. And you can always continue your list after the workshop, or if you're watching this on a recording, just pause the video to give yourself a little more time. Go for it. All right, so now write 1 or 2 sentences that combines them to tell your career story. Your career story statement should give people a sense of who you are, where you're coming from, and what special thing you have to offer. So here's a few examples. I'm a trained improv comic, who uses humor to get young people excited about STEM fields. Or I'm a journalist who brings attention to important social issues in my community. How about I'm a recent graduate looking to bring my attention to detail to an administrative job in the finance industry? Or I'm a former short order cook opening my own food truck to make delicious, healthy food available to people in my community. So as I mentioned before, aspects of your career story should be integrated into materials you use to market yourself professionally. So to use some of the examples above, the improviser who wants to work in STEM should have a brand that combines that great sense of humor with their STEM knowledge. So that sense of fun and humor and knowledge of STEM should be evident in all their professional materials. This means that they write a cover letter or professional email, or they show up to an interview. Their tone, their language, and the way they present themselves should reflect those things. The food truck owner's social media posts should reflect their commitments to making healthy food available to their community. So their website may contain information about the time they spent as a short order cook. Share about what they learned in that job and then discuss how they'll apply it to their new food truck business. They may also start a blog that describes and discusses how they address food access issues in their local community. Now, you can share your career story with others and even add to your resume and profiles on professional networking sites or other social media as well. And I'm going to give you 1 minute now to write your career story. And it can just be very rough draft. Don't worry. Remember, you can always come back and rework this information later after the workshop. Finished? That was faster than a minute. I know. So your career story is a great first step towards building your professional brand. So as you start to communicate your brand in your website and your blog and social media presence and in-person conversations, find opportunities to incorporate your career story. Keep refining your career story over time and review it before interviews, networking events, or before you post online about your career or your business. So tell me about yourself. This is something you're going to hear at a job interview or a networking event or in other professional contexts. It can feel like a big, heavy question that it can be hard to know the answer of. So now, if someone asks you to talk about yourself in an interview, you can share your career story along with any of your skills, your qualities, your interests, and your talents that apply to the role or potential collaboration that you're interviewing for. Congratulations. Your career story and list of top 5 qualities and skills and accomplishments or activities give you enough information to start building your brand. They tell you how you should speak and write about yourself as a potential employee. Now, think of all the ways you can use your career story and those 5 qualities to market yourself as a potential employee or a collaborator. Think of ways you can incorporate that brand into your marketing materials, including your resume and your cover letters, your business cards and website, in-person conversations and blog and social media posts. And now that you've got your career story and a list of your skills, qualities, and talents, we're ready to talk about how you can start communicating this brand online. So let's talk about an incredibly powerful tool for communicating your brand to other people, the internet. So your online presence should be an extension of the impression you make when you meet someone in person. So in other words, if your career story is that you're a former line cook who is opening a food truck, and your 3 words are hardworking, determined, and community-minded, well, people should get that impression of you when they read your posts on social media and when you come for an in-person interview. So let's start talking about how you can promote your brand online with something you're likely already doing, which is posting on social media. Now, most of us participate in some form of social media. No matter which social media platforms you use, it's important to understand that everything you put online will affect how people view you and will impact your professional brand. No matter what your brand is, make sure your tone on social media is always professional and polite. And keep it positive. Now, whether what you post is open to the general public or a private account, it's still a reflection of your personal and your professional brand. So now that you know a few specific actions you can take to build your career network, it's important to remember that this step will take time. Your network will naturally grow as you spend more time pursuing your career and other interests. If you follow the steps we just discussed, you should be able to build more relationships more quickly. So building a following for your business or your professional work on social media may seem overwhelming at first, but remember, you don't have to be everywhere at once. Pick 1 or 2 platforms to start with, then start contributing to those regularly. In order to choose the right platforms, consider 2 things: the brand you plan to cultivate and the audience you're trying to reach, and then decide which platform will work best for meeting both of those goals. So let's start with professional networking sites like LinkedIn or Handshake for college students. Professional networking sites allow you to interact with other users, as well as companies that are looking to hire. Creating a profile on a site like this can be a great platform for your professional brand. And you can build your professional profile on professional networking sites by following these simple steps here. Showcase accomplishments in your field or in your school. Share your volunteer work. Post articles about your industry, and then engage in discussions with other people in your field. Now, photo and video sharing sites like Instagram and TikTok allow you to post and share photos and videos with friends or with the general public. Photo and video sharing sites can be used to build your professional brand, especially if you work in a field where your work can be presented visually. So, for example, if you have a landscaping business, you might want to create a profile where you can showcase recent photos of your work. Other examples of professions that could benefit from a profile include hairstylists or house painters or performers, artists, and designers of all types. If you own a retail business, you can showcase your store's merchandise. Microblogging sites like Twitter allow you to share your thoughts in just 1 sentence or 2. These sites can be a good way for writers and other language-based content creators to communicate with a wide audience and build their brands. Now, social networking sites allow you to stay in touch with people you know and to meet new people. Some social networking sites also allow you to set up a profile for a business, which can be a great idea for building your brand. If you set up a business account, make sure to keep your posting strictly about your business. Now, making and sharing content can be a great way to help people learn more about what you do. And people in almost any career can use content to build their brand. For example, a teacher might write a blog post about interesting assignments that they've given their students. Or an HR professional might share articles about updates to employment law on a professional networking site. A hairstylist can post before and after photos of happy clients on a photo sharing site. And a real estate agent might post a list of tips for quickly selling your home on social media. Remember, you don't always have to create your own original content. You can promote the work of other people that you admire by sharing their posts and articles. Sharing on-brand content made by people that can be a very powerful use of networking and then creating your own content too. Just remember to always give creditors or creators credit of the work that you share. So make the most of your content by cross-promoting it. When you post something new to one platform, post it on your other platforms as well. And for example, if you write an article online, put the link on your social media accounts so that people can find it too. Okay, once you've started building your presence online, it becomes important to also consider which parts of your life you don't want to share with the world. And this is where privacy comes in. So in the next few slides, we're going to talk about a few ways you can protect your brand and yourself by taking steps to ensure your privacy. So when you apply for a new job, the chances are very high that that potential employer will search the internet for your name at some point during that interview and hiring process. They'll want to check to see whether you're a good fit for their company and also whether you've been participating in any online activities that could embarrass or cause problems for them later. So the next exercise you'll do is optional, but it will give you a chance to see what information is already available about you on the web. So if you want to be able to post things on social media that may not align with your professional brand, set your personal social media accounts to private. Today, we've talked a lot about how to use social media to build your professional brand, but there's no reason you can't also have accounts where you can be more casual, share information about all kinds of topics, connect with people you care about, or express your opinions more freely. It's just important to remember that when potential employers or colleagues search for you, they will see all accounts that aren't set to private. So if you want to be able to safely share photos of your family and funny cat memes or whatever it is that you like to share that doesn't fit your brand, or reveals a bit too much about your personal life, setting those accounts to private is probably a smart move. Now, your personal social media accounts may not always present a problem when you're looking for a job. So, for example, if your career is in a field like social media or marketing, well, having a big social media presence and following may actually work to your advantage. Just keep in mind if you're putting out information or opinions that are too personal in nature or that other people might find controversial, your personal social media accounts could keep you from getting hired or even put your current job in jeopardy. So locking down your accounts allows you to approve any potential followers and friends on social media before they can see your content and keep everyone else from seeing your posts. Now, let's talk about a few other ways you can manage your privacy online. This exercise is designed to help you find out what potential employers and collaborators or educators may see when they search for you online. It will also give you a chance to evaluate whether your internet search results are in line with the professional brand that you're building. Before we get started, this exercise is optional. You're going to perform an internet search for yourself. You may want to wait until you're in a private location before you complete the search, since it's hard to know in advance what kind of results are going to come up. Before you begin your search, make sure you have privacy and no one else can see your screen. Now, in your browser, open a new window in incognito mode, and then navigate to the search engine you'd like to use. So to open a window in incognito mode, open the File menu, then select New Incognito Window. Incognito mode allows you to search the web without your prior search and browser history affecting your results. In other words, searching in incognito mode makes your search results more likely to look like the results of someone else who is searching for you online. So after your incognito window opens, navigate to a search engine to perform your search. No matter what you find, doing this internet search will allow you to be prepared in case a potential employer or client or collaborator has questions about your search results. So you may find results for other people with your name or your own website or even news articles that feature you. You might not find much at all, and that's fine. You may find something positive, like a good review of your business or coverage of a volunteer project you worked on. If so, consider sharing that on social media or a website if you have one. Now, you might find results that are embarrassing or just don't feel on brand for you. If that happens, ask yourself, is this something I have control over? So if your search results bring up something that you'd rather people not see if you can delete it. If it's a social media account, log into that account and change its settings to private. If the content is included on someone else's website or social media page, you can ask them to remove it. Now, if your search brings up something that you don't have any control over, like a negative online review of your business, that's good information to have. A Google privacy checkup allows you to look through the settings in your Google account and adjust how much information you allow your accounts to share. So to begin, navigate to myaccount.google.com/privacy checkup. Google will suggest different privacy settings for you to take a look at. Your privacy checkup will be based on how you use your Google account. So your privacy recommendations may look different than the ones you see here. So scroll down to browse key privacy settings, and you can decide which ones you want to review, or you can review all of them. Here are a few privacy settings you may want to look at. Start with Manage What You Share on YouTube tab. In this tab, choose who can see your YouTube videos and your playlists, your subscriptions, and decide where you share them. If you've been posting YouTube content that fits for your professional brand and you want to see that content, make sure you check that box. If you've been watching videos and compiling playlists that don't have anything to do with your brand, well, yeah. So then look at your YouTube activity feed. You can choose to automatically have your public YouTube activity show up in your channel's activity feed, or you can keep that information private. Next, take a look at your Google photo settings. Choose whether you want to remove geolocation from your photos when you share them by link. And finally, click Control What Others See About You to make sure you haven't been sharing private information like your home address or your phone number with people who you communicate with via your Google profile. So now that you've learned several steps you can take to grow your brand online, identifying the right platforms, managing your privacy settings on social media accounts, keeping tabs on your search results, and performing a privacy checkup are all great things to do. So building a strong online presence for your professional brand doesn't happen overnight. But with steady progress, smart choices, and consistent monitoring, you can grow your brand so that potential employers and collaborators and clients can learn what you have to offer and connect with you. Okay, so now that we've defined your brand and learned about how to spread the word online, the next step is to get as many people as possible familiar with you and excited about your brand. So this is referred to as growing your network. The people you surround yourself with can help you grow your brand and your career. So start by asking yourself a few questions. Who should I meet in order to continue growing my brand and career? What kinds of people should know about me and the work that I'm doing? The more people you know, the more chances you'll have to find new opportunities and learn from others and share what you know. So once you identify the kinds of people you want to meet, you can take steps to start meeting more of them. And this is often referred to as networking. Now, networking means forming a community of people with a shared intention of building each other's careers. And you can meet people by attending events related to your career or your interests, or if you're in school, by joining groups on campus. You can get involved with professional organizations in your field, taking an internship, or even attending a conference or a mixer for people in your profession. Now, you can also network virtually by participating in career-related conversations online. Mentors will play a special role in your career development. Now, a mentor is generally someone who has more experience than you and is willing to share their knowledge to help you grow. And you can meet mentors in educational settings or even in classes you take outside of work. You may also meet them through friends. So whether you meet them online or in person, you can ask people in your field for an informational interview so that you can have opportunities to ask questions about their field or their own career path. And finally, you can find a mentor at your current job. If you're lucky enough to have a great manager, or if you identify someone else that you would like to learn from, don't be shy about getting to know them and ask. So an advocate, like a mentor, is likely to be someone further along in their career path than you. Unlike a mentor who is there to impart knowledge, an advocate who will take concrete actions to help your career progress. For example, they may be able to recommend you for a job or a promotion or a raise. Mentors and advocates will both serve important roles in your growing your career. So the big difference between a mentor and an advocate is that mentors help you grow by imparting knowledge, while advocates act on your behalf. So take a few moments now to think about whether you have mentors and advocates in your career and where you may identify people who can serve in either role. Now, companies have advisors. These advisory groups are board of directors, and a board of directors is a group of industry experts that guide important decisions and help steer a company through difficult times as well as through good ones. And as you build your own career and your personal brand, you may also benefit from creating your own board of directors. And that is a group of people you can steer, or who can steer your decision-making process. So introduce you to people. They might help give you great advice as well, or they can help talk through ideas with you. Now, rather than a company's board of directors, which has formal meetings, your board can be a group of mentors or friends or colleagues with expertise in your field or similar fields. And they must have expertise that you trust. Rather than meeting as a group, you can call on them individually when you need help with a specific issue. Now, unlike mentors and advocates, your board of directors does not have to consist solely of people with more career experience than you. It could also be, a group of peers whose opinions you really do trust. So try to curate a group of people with diverse perspectives and experiences. And you're going to encourage you to take steps that you otherwise may not think to take. You may find some of your friends from school or even your professors wind up serving you in these roles. You're also likely to meet mentors and colleagues that you trust and admire as you build your own career. So today you took the first steps towards building your personal brand. We started by discussing how companies use branding to build their reputations and learned how individuals can build their own professional brand to take their careers to the next level. You defined your career story and you figured out how to respond when someone says, "Tell me about yourself." And that might happen in an interview or a meeting or maybe a network type of setting. And then we talked about ways you can build your online presence and talked about strategies for expanding your reach through the content creation. And finally, we looked at strategies for expanding your network. We discussed finding mentors and advocates, and hopefully you've started thinking about your board of directors perhaps as well. So this workshop was just the beginning. Now that you know how to start thinking about your brand, here are some action steps you can take. 1, incorporate your brand into your professional portfolio or your personal marketing materials, like your resume, your social media profiles, and so on. If your resume has a summary statement, make sure it reflects your career story and the skills, the qualities, and the talents that we brainstormed earlier. You can also experiment with design elements and wording choices that fit your brand. Just make sure your resume remains a clear and easy document to read. 2, you're going to start building your brand online. So search for yourself online. If you find anything that feels off-brand or that you wouldn't want a potential employer or a colleague to discover, address that as you can. Pick one or two social media platforms and begin posting or sharing on-brand content regularly. And 3, build your network. Find mentors and advocates and people who can appoint to your board of directors. Find the people that can help you in this process and really in this journey. Now, if you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, check out Primer. Primer is a free app you can download to your phone. If you have an Android device, you can download it from Google Play. And if you have an Apple device, you can download it from the Apple App Store. Primer features a series of short, fun lessons that are less than 5 minutes each. I really recommend you give it a try. The image on the right here shows a photo of the Primer app pulled up. Today, we touched on a few of the collaboration features that Google has to offer. So to get more in-depth training on these tools, Google offers free Google Workspace training. Anyone can complete all of the Google Workspace training at no cost through the Applied Digital Skills, an online platform for digital learning. And some lessons may be labeled Workspace Certification. This certification is not a requirement, and these lessons can help you get familiar with all the applications in Google Workspace. Sample lessons from Applied Digital Skills are shown in the screen here on the image. Now, while today we touched on building your professional brand, you can find many more lessons and tools to build your career with Google's Applied Digital Skills. So this program features video lessons that teach you how to build digital projects, like a cover letter, a project tracker, or a business plan. Anyone can complete these lessons at no cost through this online platform for digital learning. And samples of these lessons from Applied Digital Skills are shown in the image on the screen. And stay tuned to grow with Google on air. To keep growing your digital skills and to grow your business, you'll want to visit g.co/growonair to learn more. If you're looking to start a new career and land a competitively paid job or build skills to grow in your career, check out Google Career Certificates. Google Career Certificates can give you a path to in-demand jobs with top employers who are currently hiring. You can earn a certificate and prepare for a new career in a high-growth field in under 6 months, even if you don't have relevant experience. So learn at your own pace and complete the online program on your own terms. These certificates are available for IT support, project management, UX design, data analytics, and Android development. And you can get started here at grow.google/certificates. And you can learn and explore more digital skills at our Grow with Google site, google.com/grow. Now, if you enjoyed this workshop, come back to take additional courses and grow your digital skills. And thank you very much for being here today. I'm Dave Delaney, signing off, but reach out anytime if you have questions. I'm more than happy to help you. Take care. We'll see you next time.